Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the EON Network show, the EON Network podcast. I'm Adrian Matt here, your host, and it's been a wild couple of weeks. I do want to thank you all for taking the chance to watch the video and really thanking each and every single one of you for getting the chance to not only watch, but also subscribe. I mean, the fact that we are at 19 subscribers, I said it before in the previous video, how I have been absolutely ecstatic and elated, but also shocked at the same time that we are growing a lot faster than I actually initially thought. So, it's been great. And, I think 3 of our videos hit over 100 views, which is, of course, like I said, mind-blowing, a lot better than I initially thought. So I do want to take this chance to thank all of you guys for getting the chance to watch the videos each and every single time. Now, today, in this episode, we are going to be talking about the very controversial subject that everybody's been talking about in the last week or so. And if you use the internet, then you are well aware of who Mr. Beast is. Of course, Mr. Beast amassing over 300 million subscribers, the most known YouTuber at this moment. He's under a lot of hot water, and there are 2 reasons why. The first reason is because of the Ava situation. Ava, of course, also known as Chris Tyson. And what happened was that Chris Tyson was exposed earlier this week for having inappropriate conversations with a minor. Now, of course, that broke the news, and everybody was shocked about it. Everybody was talking about Ava in a negative manner, as they should, because that was nothing more but a disgusting act. However, what we found out, later on, was that Mr. Beast, and again, according to all the sources that people have been stating out there, there is proof in a variety of different videos out there, that Mr. Beast somehow perhaps even knew that was going on. Somehow perhaps knew that Ava was talking to minors. Which is kind of contradicting because Mr. Beast went out and said, oh, well, I wasn't aware of this, and my full team is doing an investigation to see exactly what we can actually, get out of the facts out of this. But guess what? It has been proven that Mr. Beast was in the same server years and years ago with this Chris Tyson, and they were having inappropriate talks and content with minors in there, and Mr. Beast talked about I'm not going to mention it because it's disturbing, but nonetheless, Mr. Beast made a very, very inappropriate joke, and again, minors were present in that Discord server. Chris Tyson was there as well. So Chris Tyson was openly messaging these people in their server. So how is Mr. Beast going to tell me and tell everybody else in the entire world that he didn't know this was going on? Clearly, he knew this was going on. There is no way that he didn't. There is absolutely no way that he did not know that his best friend, by the way, his childhood best friend, he grew up with the guy, they knew each other for years. He's not going to tell me that he didn't know, he being Mr. Beast, did not know that Chris Tyson was doing this. Under his own nose, by the way. In his own server. So I'm not buying this. Now, of course, Mr. Beast, he's not stupid. He's not going to go out there and he's not going to expose himself. He's not going to say, well, I knew about this too. So, of course, he's going to deny being involved in any of this stuff. But it's just quite obvious that he definitely knew what was going on. I mean, again, at first I assumed that he didn't. That's what I assumed. But I did get into some videos for the sake of this podcast, and I learned a couple of different things, and I was doing my research, and according to all the evidence that was shown in the last several days, there are a lot of people who are proving that the case that Mr. Beast is actually aware of all this. So, I'm just saying, people, if this is true, which according to the evidence it is, then I lost a lot of respect for Mr. Beast. That's the first thing. So he's facing a lot of hot water with the controversy dealing with Chris Tyson. And Chris Tyson, a lot of people state that he single-handedly destroyed Mr. Beast's career. And that may be true. However, there's yet another subject that everybody's talking about concerning Mr. Beast that I believe may have actually truly put the last nail in the coffin for Mr. Beast and his credibility and his career. And that is the fact that lately people have been coming out and sharing stories of how they actually were dealt with the whole Mr. Beast Beast games, something like that, of course. All these different challenges that were taking place. Mr. Beast was hosting these challenges, and he were to, according to the rules, he were to invite random subscribers. Thousands of people were in this and all that stuff. Okay. So anyways, apparently some of the contestants, some of the people that participated in the Beast challenges, they came forward and said on YouTube, yeah, well, what you see on camera is not exactly what you see behind the scenes. And there's many people out there who have shared their story that it was complete chaos. It was mayhem. And it was unprofessional. It wasn't organized. The fact that they didn't have enough medical staff members on standby, things like that. I'm going to just basically go one by one at this point, and I'm going to break it down. The first thing that I understand that a lot of people are coming out and talking about is the fact that a lot of people refused, or I should say a lot of people were refused medical attention. And there were a lot of sources that claimed that a lot of people who were participating in that beast game needed medication for their seizures, medications for health, obviously, and just being able to stay healthy throughout the day, throughout the whole game. And what happened was, apparently, as these participants were asking for these medications, Mr. Beast and his staff allegedly denied. And I use the word allegedly because, of course, I'm not there. I don't know exactly what happened, obviously. But if you were to watch these videos, again, there's a lot of these contestants, and it's very weird because it's not just one person saying this. It's multiple people. You know, you're not going to tell me that this is fabricated. I mean, there's no way that multiple people, dozens of people are going to be coming out and basically sharing just about the same story. There's absolutely no way that you're going to tell me that this is all false, because if a lot of people are sharing a similar story that checks out, we probably have to give them the benefit of the doubt and truly think that these guys are not joking. You know, I'd understand if it was only one person, then okay. I mean, at that point in time, it's going to be very hard to believe that. But with the fact that literally a lot of people are coming out nowadays and talking about Mr. Beast's challenges and how he's so unprofessional, it's beginning not to look so good for Mr. Beast. But let me go back to what I was saying about the medications and all that stuff. You're going to tell me that you are the biggest YouTuber of all time, one of the most well-known faces in the history of the internet, and you have amassed a fortune with so much money that you've garnered through the years. You're going to tell me, with all the money that you've gotten, and the fact that everyone, of course, knows who you are, you're not going to be caring enough to provide necessities? You're not going to be caring enough to allow your own participants to take their medications? That doesn't make sense to me. How are you, Mr. Beast, of all people, how are you going to deny all these people's medications? Their lives are on the line, and you're going to sit there and just refuse to, and his staff members. Now, again, if this is actually true, which I'm starting to believe it is true, and you know what? It is a podcast, all right? So I can give my opinion. So in that case, in my opinion, it is true. I truly think it is actually the truth. I truly think there's no way that a lot of people are going to be coming out and saying the same thing. I said it before. There's no way. But regardless, how are you going to do that? Denying someone's medication. That's crazy, though. In my opinion, that is beyond abhorrent, because there is no way. I mean, that's kind of inhumane at this point in time if you think about it. You're going to be stuffing thousands of people in one stadium to participate in this challenge, and all these thousands of people, of course, or hundreds in this case, need their medication for the sake of their own health, and you're going to deny that. That right there is disturbing. What's even more disturbing, though, is the food and the water. According to other videos out there, people and participants were stating that apparently Mr. Beast himself did provide food and water. However, it was not enough. And according to some of the videos, people were stating that they were fed 400-calorie foods, and they ran out a lot of food a lot of the times. They ran out a lot of the water a lot of the times. A lot of people were saying that people were stealing from each other. People were fighting for food. So these are videos that you can see online. And again, I mean, it's very easy to look it up. So from what I heard, that was basically what was happening. A lot of people are going out there and claiming that, yeah, they weren't fed properly. Yeah, they ran a lot of water. So we were hungry for the most part. And I'm looking at this and I'm listening to the videos and I'm going, this is basically the most inhumane thing I can ever think of when it comes to a popular YouTube channel. Mr. Beast, over 300 million subscribers, and this is how he treats his own fans, his own participants, not even giving them, not even caring enough to, I mean, think about this for just a second. How can you not be prepared for this stuff? This is the first thing you should think of on the list. If you're going to make a challenge, again, you're going to stuff everybody in a stadium, thousands of people. The first thing on your list should be, do we have enough food? Do we have enough aid? Do we have enough water? Do we have enough medical staff members? Which I'll lead to that right now. Other accusations, of course, were stating that apparently Mr. Beast along with his staff members. A lot of people were getting injured, and his staff members, along with himself, were denying people to go to the hospital. In fact, they being Mr. Beast's team, they had apparently their own medical team and all that stuff, but apparently, according to what I was listening to, they weren't trained enough. They didn't have the credentials to really treat some of the stuff that people were facing. So there were a lot of broken bones, broken legs. There are some photos that you can see online. There was a person that did have a broken leg for competing in the challenge, and they didn't have enough medical staff members. They didn't have enough ambulances. According to one of them, they stated that there were only 2 ambulances for the entire stadium. 2, which is horrible. And that's just, at this point in time, I was going to say laughable, but I can't even laugh at that because you're putting lives on the line for your own stupid show. You don't even care enough. You're the most well-known person in the world. You have enough money for everything. What are you doing? Seriously, Mr. Beast, what in the hell are you doing? And I'm getting frustrated right now, and I do apologize because I'm getting mad at the fact that this guy has been given credit around the world. He's been given credit over and over and over. People, of course, adore the guy. He's been in documentaries. He's done all this stuff, businesses worldwide and so forth. And yet, this guy doesn't even care enough to even think to feed his participants in a proper way. And, of course, denying medication. What is this? Mr. Beast, wake up. You're not like a 30, I would understand if you had 30 subscribers or so, or 300, whatever, 1,000, which, by the way, I don't recommend anybody who has 1,000 subscribers or whatever around that range to even host a challenge, but that's beside the point. You have 300 million plus. That's more than enough. And what is this that I'm hearing that apparently Mr. Beast is rigging shows? He's rigging all this stuff according to a lot of people stating that apparently there's this video. I'm going to look up the guy real quick. But there is this video that was uploaded. Now I understand that it's reached to, nearly 7 million views. I don't know if this is correct or not. I'm about to check it out in just a moment. But there was a video that was released just a couple of days ago. And it was concerning Mr. Beast. And basically the guy said that he worked for Mr. Beast. And Mr. Beast is a fraud. So again, that is a trending video at this point in time. Okay, so so it's reached over 7 million views, and the guy's name is Dogpack404. So the video is nearly an hour long. I got the chance to watch, for the most part, a good 30 minutes of it. Then I watched another YouTube video, and the guy broke down most of the important stuff from that video. So, according to the guy that did work for Mr. Beast, he is claiming that Mr. Beast does do a lot of fraudulent activities that basically puts him as a fraud. And apparently he's rigging the contests. According to what was said in the video, Mr. Beast would purposely fix the entire challenge so his friends can win. From what I understand also, Mr. Beast is apparently saying that, hey, yeah, random subscribers are going to be participating in these videos. And then the random subscribers that are shown in video, apparently, if you do a deep dive in them, they work for Mr. Beast. And that's been proven. The video proves that a lot of the contestants that were dubbed as random subscribers, a lot of the contestants were people who literally worked for Mr. Beast in his business. So they're not random subscribers. They know Mr. Beast. They work for the guy. Now, I'm sure that there are some people who are random subscribers for sure, I guess. But they're not going to let them win. Mr. Beast is definitely going to let the people who work for him win. Why? Because they have it all planned out. And I agree with Dogpack, or somebody else said it. I don't know if it was Dogpack. I don't know. Somebody said it, but I agree with them. Because let's just legitimately say that he actually did get 1,000 random subscribers. How is he going to know the challenge is going to work out in his favor? How does he know that there's going to... for all we know, all these people are misfits, or all these people don't have the ability, the athleticism and the stability and ability to compete these challenges. And the video could end probably in about 20 minutes to 30 minutes. That makes sense. Mr. Beast probably doesn't want to face that. He's not going to go, yeah, if I invite a lot of people who just might not have the athleticism to compete these challenges, it's not going to be good for content. So let me just get people where I work with, and I know that they, I know for a fact that they can follow my lead, and I know some of them are definitely athletic enough and blah, blah, blah. And that does make sense, because Mr. Beast doesn't want to post or publish videos, literally, that are going to be bad for his channel. So I'm starting to believe that that is true. You know, he claims that, and a lot of people might say, well, you know what, Mr. Beast is for entertainment, okay? If you have a problem with it, that's your loss. And I can see why you would say that. But the thing is, Mr. Beast is claiming that the videos are real. He's going out and lying through his teeth. He's stating to everybody that, yeah, my videos are real. They're 100% legitimate, this and that. And yet he's lying to his entire audience, claiming that it's real, when in reality, there's more than enough evidence to claim the fact that his videos are not real. And I can't stand this guy. I cannot stand this guy. I'm sorry to say it. I'm sure a lot of people are fans of Mr. Beast. I'm sorry. I guess I'm one of the rare ones. I don't like Mr. Beast. Didn't like Mr. Beast beforehand as well. That's a different story as to why I don't like the guy. I don't know the guy in real life, but I just did not like the fact that he kept putting himself on camera every time that he would, do something good for humanity, which is good. I'm glad he was able to do the good stuff. But in a way, he kept putting himself in the center of the entire attention. So that screams to me as if he didn't really care about helping the people. He was just doing it so he can get all the attention and all the media on him to basically dub him as some sort of hero, some angel. That's how I viewed Mr. Beast. But again, that's beside the point. We're going to go back to the whole video, the task at hand, and talking about what is, people been talking about in the last week. So apparently, too, the video talks about how Mr. Beast has hosted illegal gambling sessions with kids. That apparently is the case. He's worked with kids and he's done illegal stuff concerning gambling. Now, to me, that is beyond disgusting as well. I mean, if you're going to be talking to kids, you should not be talking to kids about literally gambling. I don't even care. It doesn't even have to be kids. You shouldn't even be talking to anybody about gambling because gambling is bad for you. But nonetheless, he was doing it illegally with these kids. There's evidence on that. There's other evidence as well that claims that Mr. Beast apparently, he, and it kind of ties back to what I was saying, but I mean, for the most part, for the videos, he was faking a lot of the stuff that you saw there. A lot of the times he would be filming something and claim that that's one thing, when in reality that had nothing to do with what he was talking about for the video. Apparently there's also a part where in the video it states that Mr. Beast used this yacht. So the challenge was, and I'm not too familiar with this, but the challenge apparently was, surviving in the middle of the ocean for, 1 day, 1 week, whatever it is, but surviving the ocean. And he claims, the guy that worked for Mr. Beast claims that when they were done shooting, they would all just go to the yacht, basically enjoy themselves there, and then get back to shooting and going back to the little boat to continue the whole episode. Which, again, goes back to what I said. He is a guy that is basically a fraud. And I'm not the one saying this, even though I just said it moments ago, but in reality, it all came from Dogpack 404. So, I mean, if you haven't actually watched the video, I do implore everybody to go to YouTube right now and to type in Dogpack 404. That is the first video that pops up. I worked for Mr. Beast. He's a fraud. That is the video. The entitled video is, I worked for Mr. Beast. He's a fraud, Dogpack 404. So I see it right in front of me. Over 7 million views 7 days ago. He was just apparently a worker, and he was able to just break down each and every single element. So I gotta say, there are a lot of videos out there talking about the Mr. Beast situation. Everybody is saying that apparently Mr. Beast is done. A lot of people are saying that Mr. Beast is done for, that his career is ended, that what's happened to Mr. Beast. I mean, since he's the most well-known YouTuber of all time, I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked that he's getting a lot of these videos on YouTube. I mean, at this point, I'm scrolling down right now, and at this point, I just probably passed about 40 videos about the guy being a fraud and more so. And I'm sure there are hundreds more because, again, this guy is the most well-known YouTuber of all time. So everyone's going to be eyeing on this guy. But yeah, I mean, listen, here are my thoughts officially for this entire thing. My thoughts of this entire thing is just basically what everyone else has been saying. The Chris Tyson stuff, which of course I guess his name now is Ava, is beyond disgusting as well. That man, and I mean that man as in Mr. Beast, knew what was happening. It's clear to me. All right, it's clear to me. It's clear as day. He was in the same server as Ava or Chris Tyson, he was involved in a conversation, he being Mr. Beast, was involved in a conversation with inappropriate kids, with Chris, by the way, talking about some inappropriate stuff. And again, those two idiots, those two clowns, knew each other for basically their entire lives. They grew up with each other. They were best friends. I mean, they do anything for each other. That's basically what the two were. I mean, they were so close. So I don't think Mr. Beast really didn't know about this. I'm pretty sure Mr. Beast knew about this and did what he could to help his friend not get exposed. So that's probably what's been happening now. Now, when it comes to the other side about the whole faking videos and all that stuff, again, I always knew Mr. Beast was just some sort of fraud, but I didn't really think he would fake his videos. I always thought he was a fraud in the sake that, he would help people, but just for the sake of his own attention, for the sake of him trying to create some sort of immune system. That way, if people, expose him, the exposer is going to get all the criticism and saying, oh, Mr. Beast is the guy that planted all these trees and he's donated charities. You're going against this guy. Oh, no, boo you. Well, unfortunately, actually, no. Fortunately, not unfortunately, fortunately, that isn't the case now because, again, a lot of information has spilled in the last week that I think a lot of people are now starting to understand that Mr. Beast isn't really the type of person that we all thought he would be or is on camera and so forth. I mean, I knew this. Here's another personal story of mine. I mean, I don't know the guy personally, but what I'm saying is I remember I was watching this video of this artist. He drew some pop icons like The Rock, Joe Biden, all this stuff. And each and every single one, I respected the fact that each one took a couple of seconds to take the picture, look at the drawer, and actually, kind of have a good conversation, maybe a 20-second conversation. Oh, thank you so much. This is a really good picture, this and that. When Mr. Beast popped up in that video, apparently the drawer, the artist, I guess, came up to him, gave the drawing to Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast took it, and he did not even look in the eyes of the artist. He actually looked, he being Mr. Beast, looked to the left. He said, thank you, yeah, and he did not even look at the picture, and he didn't even look at the artist. And I was watching that, and I was just completely flabbergasted. And I was curious. I was saying, you know what, Mr. Beast is so loved that no one's going to point this out in the comment section. But I was surprised. I went to the comment section, and a lot of people were saying, does anyone else feel that Mr. Beast was a bit rude? And a lot of people were saying, yeah, he was rude. And I'm thinking, okay, there we go. So I always thought he was some sort of fraud. I don't know. I always thought that maybe on camera, he's all this cool guy. He's nice and everything. But behind the scenes, he's just a guy that really doesn't care about anyone except for himself. I'm sure he does have an ego. I'm sorry to say this, but I mean, he definitely has an ego, actually. He has to have. He has over 300 million subscribers. All right. He has so many views, so much money. Right. So, I mean, I'm sure he developed an ego through the years, claiming to now, he knows he's the best. He knows he's on top, so he can kind of do whatever he wants. And the fact that he's created that immune system, as I said, that he's helped a lot of people around the world, curing blindness, which is great. But even for that, by the way, if you watch those videos, listen, if you truly cared about the people that you were helping, at the very least, you can maybe put them more so on camera and get to know them more, and for us, the audience, to learn more about them and to talk about their stories and their struggles and the trials and tribulations. But no, Mr. Beast only has them on camera whenever they're cured, and they go, yeah, and then everyone is thanking Mr. Beast, and Mr. Beast is getting all the glory. That is basically an influence for us to go, yeah, Mr. Beast is so cool, but again, think it through, guys. If he truly cared about the people he was helping, why can't he have them more on camera? Why does it have to be Mr. Beast, Mr. Beast, Mr. Beast, Mr. Beast? It's always about him. Have you guys noticed that? It's always about him. Anyway, I always have an opinion for that guy, but according to all these videos out there, a lot of people have been stating that, yeah, this is over. Now, what do I think about Mr. Beast's future from here on out? Well, it's kind of obvious. Mr. Beast has, as I said many times, 300 million plus subscribers. So no matter what happens, no matter how many exposed videos, the world knows of Mr. Beast. He can literally retire all these gaming, or challenges, I should say, and just start uploading him sitting in a chair eating breakfast for the rest of his life, and he will still get views because he's just that well known now, and he will still get money out of it. So do I think that he's, gone from YouTube? Do I really think that he's, his career is officially over? No. He'll keep uploading somehow, some way. Now, do I feel as if he's going to stop doing these challenges maybe? Perhaps so. Either that or he's going to do a lot of changes. I don't know. I think he might not be doing these challenges anymore because now people are starting to come out and stating that it was dangerous, that it was inhumane, that most of the stuff was rigged and fake. So it would be crazy for Mr. Beast to just come out of nowhere after all these allegations and videos and exposing to just host yet another challenge. And people are going to truly think that it's, yet another fake video, and he's going to lose a lot of credibility. So it just doesn't, I don't know, I just don't see that making sense. And let's say if he does continue these challenges, who's going to work with the guy? I mean, with all the videos spreading all over the place, Mr. Beast lost a lot of credibility. Mr. Beast, he hasn't even responded to the allegations. He's been silent. I understand that his friend of his or something like that did respond to a couple of stuff, but it wasn't, a pretty good response from what I know. And the guy defending Mr. Beast only debunked, quotations, debunked the very minor details as opposed to debunking the major details. So it doesn't look good for Mr. Beast. He hasn't responded. He had his friend respond, but again, his friend only just went after the minor details, not the major ones, so that looks even worse. So what do? I mean, again, if you're Mr. Beast, you really have, he's, in a bit of a fix here. And his career has been jeopardized. And when I say career, I'm not talking about YouTube uploading and all that stuff. Again, he can quit all the challenges and upload as many videos as possible. He's still going to get paid, but I'm talking about career-wise as in setting up these challenges and being global about it and so forth. Because now that he's being called out, people are starting to open their eyes now more and starting to understand that the Mr. Beast that we saw and have seen through the years in front of the camera may not be the same guy that we see. And, it's a very weird feeling in a way. It's a bit of a weird feeling knowing that the number one guy on YouTube is being completely attacked from all sides. But the reason why I say it's weird is because the fact of the matter is you would want the number one YouTuber in the entire website to be someone that's credible, to be someone that is very much kind, humble, and a guy that just is like any other person, a good Samaritan that just goes about his day and making sure he makes people smile. But in this case, he had people injured. He refused to give people medication. He never really stocked up in food and water. A lot of people stayed hungry for days. Apparently, he's rigging contests to allow his friends to win the entire thing as opposed to the legitimate people he doesn't know. He's doing illegal stuff with kids. And what I mean by illegal, I'm talking about gambling, not the illegal stuff that probably Ava's done or Chris Tyson or whatever that loser's name is. He's doing all this stuff. So it's just weird knowing that he got away with this for I don't know how long. How long has Mr. Beast been on YouTube? I don't even know. Let me see. Let me check this out. We got to go pretty soon. It's about to hit the, Okay, so I'm about to wrap things up, but I'm going to go ahead and just tell you real quick. So according to his channel there, he has 307 million subscribers. And let's see. So I'm looking at the About page. He joined February 19th, 2012. So he's been on the platform literally for 12 years. How did he get away with this? I don't understand. I really don't understand how in the world, he's been able to do all this stuff, and it took this long for people to kind of come out. Actually, there were a few people that exposed Mr. Beast about a year or two ago, but all of them, they were so hated on that nobody took them seriously because people literally, as I said, Mr. Beast was very smart. He became the angel of YouTube that no matter how many times somebody's going to go and expose the guy, his fans, his audience is going to persuade everybody else that Mr. Beast is the good guy and the exposers are not. But now that we have a legitimate member of Mr. Beast's community or a legitimate man that worked for Mr. Beast and was able to deep dive the entire thing, now people are taking it more seriously and people now are understanding, oh my God, maybe people that were exposing him before were right. So that's the episode for this week. I want to thank you so much for taking the chance to watch the episode. Of course, every week, Eon Network Podcast is going to be delivering an episode talking about certain subjects, whether if it's subject dealing with controversies like Mr. Beast or other subjects with politics, gaming, whatever the case may be. We will continue every single Wednesday and uploading every single Wednesday. We thank you for taking the chance to watch this episode. Of course, let us know what you think. If you disagree with me, if you think Mr. Beast is innocent, just go ahead and let us know all about it down below in the comments section. With that being said, I do want to thank you guys again for checking out the video. We will catch you guys next time. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.